Okay, welcome back to another episode of Queers with Accents.
Okay.
This is the final episode of the 3-episode series with the guest, Kasumi-san. or Rero-san.
Rero-san.
She's a sociologist of culture and gender, and she researches various topics, including maid cafes and Disney and many things. I will put descriptions of the, her description in the the description box.
Okay.
I said description so many times.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can find her work and find her links. And okay, so we talked about in the first episode we talked about what makes a relationship romantic.
Yep.
In the second episode we talked about on being queer and neurodivergent in Japan at the same time. But we actually talked about intersectionality in general. And in this episode, the final episode, we're going to talk about mental health for queer people. Yeah.
That's a serious issue.
And Kasumi wanted to talk about mental health. So what would you like to start with?
Okay. I was diagnosed as adjustment disorder, and then
Adjustment, is it utsu?
it's 適応障害.
Oh, okay.
Adjustment disorder.
Oh, adjustment. 適応. Okay.
And then it turns out to be
Depression?
depression.
Yeah.
Depression. Is it utsu? Okay.
Yeah.
適応障害 adjustment to
And it's really difficult for me to having this disorder or depression and doing research at the same time.
Should be.
And I think, of course, my mental is not good when I was diagnosed as depression, but also my body condition wasn't good. I cannot really stand up. I was just sleeping in the bed all the time, and it was really difficult for me to move, literally. And so that sometimes happens now too. So it's difficult for me to maintain the social life. So that's my episode.
Right.
Yeah, and also when I went to the, how can I say, something like the counseling.
When I went to see a therapist.
See a therapist, yeah.
See a therapist.
See a psychological therapist, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went to see a therapist, that therapist was so weird.
Okay.
And the therapist said, like, maybe you're in a moratorium, or because you're in graduate school, and that must be a moratorium something, and or he said, like, you don't divide the friendship between romantic relationship or something, and that he said that in a bad meaning, for bad meaning.
Okay. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
not just
not-
to not just to pinpoint your core romanticism.
No.
No. He said it in a way that was obvious that he was not approval, or he was not approving.
No, he said like you're immature or something to me.
Oh my, the fuck.
Yeah,
that's
so
very insulting.
That's
yeah, very insulting, and
wow.
also I feel like his understanding of sexual or romantic things are so weird.
That's so bad.
Yeah, then that's my episode to start with. Not the
Okay.
good episode.
Yeah. I see. I guess, like for example, I teach English, right? And lots of my students are either feminist or queer or both. And one of the good things they say about my lessons is that, they don't have to worry about the possibility of receiving microaggression in the lessons. And it's very hard for them to find English school, language school, that where they can feel comfortable. Right? So for people seeking therapy and professional help, psychological help, it's not difficult. It's not easy to even find a clinic first, and then go and make a reservation, and then go to that therapy on that day, on time.
On time.
That's the
That's
point.
Yeah, that's already a very difficult process. And then you go there, and then the therapist turns out to be a jerk like that. It's very difficult for them to, okay, this one's a bad one, I'll switch to another one, I'll find another doctor. It's not that easy,
No.
right? So yeah, if you are, and being queer, like, this happened to my boyfriend when he was having some mental issues.
Okay.
He went to a clinic, and because of the nature of counseling, the patient is supposed to talk about their experience and their feelings.
Yes.
And in that, there are times when being closeted can be a challenge. Sometimes, you need to come out, but you don't want to sometimes. But you don't know if the doctor or the therapist is, accepting
Yes.
or not.
No.
Yes.
That's another stressor,
Yes.
right? So yeah, I guess, that's one of the situations that I can think of where queerness and mental health can sort of like, clash.
Yeah, and also on a dating app,
Yeah.
on some dating app, I saw the description like the person who has mental issues are NG or something.
Oh, like in people's bios.
People's bios.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, of course, no thank you from you too, right?
From me, but it's
Insulting.
insulting, and it's direct discrimination.
Right, yeah. 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 I mean, it's not wrong to seek someone mentally stable because stability can be an asset. Stability in a relationship can be a good thing. But if you
what is asset?
asset is 財産
Oh, okay.
いいことみたいな
Oh, okay, okay. Good thing.
good thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, and yeah, if my friend is having rough times and if their mental state becomes stable, then I'm happy for them. So stability is not a bad thing, and in looking for stability in a partner is understandable.
Sure.
But you don't have to write it down in the
Yeah, that's quite rude, I
bio.
think.
It's rude.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
called ableism.
Yeah,
In
it is
English.
ableism.
Ah,
In
Right,
Japanese,
right.
maybe 健常者主義.
健常者主義だわ。
Yeah. Maybe the wording, they could have done a better, job writing, even if they have to write the same thing, they can be like, I want to, and I can't think of the English phrase, but, 安定してる人に甘えたいですみたいな That's a positive, that gives a positive vibe,
I see.
right?
Yeah.
That's,
I see.
that's much better, I
Yeah.
think, than メンタルヘルスの問題がある人は NG ですみたいな。That's too bad.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Yeah. They should think about the way of writing.
Yeah. They should think about how
Yeah.
people with mental health issues might feel looking at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for me it's really difficult issue because I'm running a share house. Of course I want to make this place for everybody. Of course,
Literally everybody.
Yeah, literally. For of course for disorder people or queer people, kinky people, anybody. But it's also my business too, and
Right.
I should get people should pay for rent for me, and if they can't work and they can't earn money and they can't pay for rent for me, and it should be challenge for me. So it's really difficult for me. For me, it's how do I say? Yeah, of course I don't say people who have mental issue can't stay at my share house. I don't say that, but I need they pay for rent stably.
Right. So that means either they should have money, they should have money from their parents or something.
Sure, yeah,
or
that's totally.
they have to be earning enough money.
Yes,
to pay rent.
yes.
That means either classism or ableism.
Right, right.
That's a very difficult
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
So the it's not my share house is not a shelter or something
it's not
something
charity.
run by government.
Right.
So yeah, I have to run it by myself,
Right.
and
Yeah.
the money issue is really critical.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
There are some systems. There are some businesses that incorporate systems where people can pay more so that some people can pay less.
Yes.
Maybe that's one thing we might be able to consider.
Yeah. In the future, I might be able to do that. But yeah, for now, I can't make that kind of system. It's rely on the residents, so it's really difficult how to describe to find the people to live here. Yes.
Yeah. Right now, you're still trying to get more people.
Yes, I need more. At least 2 more residents.
2 more residents. So if you're watching this, if you are interested in living in Minowa, this is the house, and this is the second time I'm here, and I've been here, and it's very close to the station, Minowa Station, 11 minutes on foot.
Yeah.
And Minowa is next to Iriya, and then we have Ueno Station.
Yes.
So like 2 stations away from Ueno. Ueno is like, you have everything in Ueno.
Everything in the world.
Yes. And yeah, it's easy access to anywhere in Tokyo. So yeah, if I were single, I would definitely move in. So if you're interested.
Yes.
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, but yeah, doing like not just businesses, but doing anything. Like for example, holding an event, accessibility and
queer friendly events.
Yeah.
Would be nice.
Here too. But I was gonna say, always we have the issue of accessibility and ableism, and classism. You have to, like for example, you have to have people pay for the space, or you have to, like for example, you can only find a place where, the floor is not flat. There are so many like bookstores, like feminist bookstores, queer bookstores in Tokyo. We have, more and more places, but many of them are on the 2nd floor or 3rd floor, and there's no elevator.
No elevator.
Right?
Right.
Etc. The bookstore, etc. They are on the 1st floor, and there's like 2 steps, I guess, at the front. So even if, it's not completely accessible, but maybe like if you are, even if you are a wheelchair user, people might be able to lift you up, but it's not it's not completely accessible. So yeah, that's a very big issue.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the topic?
The mental health in the queer community.
Yes. Right. Yeah. I think, from my experience with queer community spaces and community members, people who have mental health issues I think they find it harder than us to make friends in that community.
I think so.
The community style may be a little special, a little unique. And yeah, we have extroverts and introverts, right? Yoga, inka. Everywhere you go, there are extroverts. Even in very highly political queer community, there are extroverts. Go do barbecue.
Good beach, good barbecue.
Yeah, no, sorry. Sorry. I didn't mean to say it, and those people can naturally dominate the space.
Naturally dominate the space.
Right? They don't mean to. Sometimes they are very inclusive. They even talk to you.
They looks like inclusive.
Yeah. Sometimes they will even come talk to you.
Yeah,
Hey,
they are welcoming.
you should come. You should join us. And then there's no aftercare.
I see.
Right. So yeah, I think I've been on both sides. Sometimes I'm more on the extroverted side in that particular community, and I felt like I was naturally dominant, and there's nothing I could do. It's a very natural process. Some people, a small number of people dominating the space. It just happens, and even they can't help it. So I think we need to have a system where, like, for example, everyone gets a say, everyone gets a say means like
Everyone gets a say.
Yeah.
I know.
like everyone has their own turn to speak.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's a good system, right? Like, I think you implement that in your events too,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, if you can just let things happen, the natural domination happens. So,
Ah.
yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah, and in Japan, the peer group
yeah,
for the queers who have mental issues is really, there's only like Colorful Heart-san. Yeah, Colorful Heart-san is really doing a good job, but only one peer group that I think. So
yeah. Can you introduce Colorful Heart's activities a little bit? Sorry, I'm eating.
I don't know much, but Colorful Heart-san is doing some peer group session.
Okay. So they actually meet.
Yeah. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
But that Colorful Heart-san is the only
Oh.
group that I know.
Yeah. Do they?
Maybe there's another group
Yeah.
in Nagoya, I think. Yeah,
Do you
but I
know the
forgot
name?
the name.
Okay.
Nagoya.
Yeah. It's very important to have spaces like that. Yeah. When you think about it, we say majority, we say minority, but if you have sort of like a graphic presentation of population, we think of majority big, minority small. But if it's like, if you look at each circle, like gay, lesbian, trans, neurodivergent, mental health issues, domestic violence, survivorship,
Oh yeah.
when you start doing that, when you start mapping those things, the majority, what we call the majority, is actually going to be really small.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right?
Majority can't be, majority anymore.
Right. People who don't have any experience or any identity that's a target of discrimination. That's like a very small, tiny population.
Yeah,
Right?
and that is the concept of this share house too. Like I think everyone has kind of, how do I say, minoritiness. Yeah. They can be queer, they can be handicapped, or they can be a foreigner, or they can be they can be the poisonous family or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's it called?
Mm.
Poisonous, not poisonous.
Toxic partner or toxic family, or they can be stressed out in the company. So everyone has their own difficulty in their lives. So it's not. This here is not the space for only LGBTQs or polyamories. It's the space for everybody. And I believe everybody has their own difficulties.
Right.
So
and we need to stop comparing our difficulties.
Sure.
Maybe just sharing.
So there is no complete majority 100% majority person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So well, I'm excited to. Well, I live not in the neighborhood, but I live only like 20 minutes away from here. So I'm very excited to have this place in the area.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay. We should go. It's late. So thank you for joining me. And this was the first physical get together for the podcast recording.
Wow.
So
it was so nice.
We should do this sometime.
Sure.
again.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Okay. Done! Nice.
お疲れ様でした。トイレ行きたい。めっちゃトイレ行きたい。
いってらっしゃい。